Bryant.
Nice to meet you. I'm doing very well. Yourself?
Chris, good, you good? Thanks for coming in.
Here's my card. Do you have one like that?
Thank you, I do. Got one for you here.
How was the weekend today?
This weekend was just fine. My wife and I flew out to Pittsburgh, went to a wedding. Lots of fun stuff. How about you?
More active than mine. I got to sit around a little bit and started to catch up on some things.
What'd you catch up on?
Sleep and emails. That's
Yeah.
all I did though. But I do believe we only have about 10 minutes. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. Then if it's okay, I'd like to set out an agenda just to kind of know and utilize the most of our time.
Okay.
So first, I'd just like to give me an overview of your company,
Okay.
and then I can tell you a little bit about Acquia, and then specifically Acquia Lift, and we can go from there.
Gotcha. So my company, SPO, we've been around for, I don't know, 13, 14 years now. We're a industry leader, you know, compares to Sports Illustrated, if you will. We've got a great online place for people to go and learn more about their sports teams, and we've got a magazine that people can subscribe to, as well as some other material that they have access to, and yeah, that's who we are.
Okay, awesome. Is it okay if I just take some notes?
Sure.
Well, Acquia, we're a company, we work with leading enterprise organizations just like yourself, and we work with content management as well as all their websites and help them become more engaging. And also, we want to make sure we use this with a very resilient cloud platform that we have. Now, Acquia Lift specifically focuses on content management, but for me, it has a lot of different aspects that it can do and qualities. But to get a better idea of what your needs are, can I just ask of why you reached out to us in the first place and how you heard about us?
Yeah, I heard about you. Lightwave Consulting is someone that we work with, and they had recommended that based on our circumstance that we reach out to you all, that you might be able to help us out a little bit.
Can you evaluate at all on the circumstance?
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough. 13 years. We've been an industry leader. We've got 500 million site visits and 100 million unique visitors, and we've started to see that slip a little bit. So I was actually just recently hired. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I've only been with the company for a couple of months. But Luke Murphy asked me to come in here and see if I could help figure out a way to reverse the trend, if you will.
Okay. Now, I do kind of want to get a better understanding of just what type of trends are you noticing? Is it just in terms of like overall trends? You just see a decrease in what is it, like the number of views that you're having? Or?
Yeah, we've seen a number of visitors to our site decrease. It's slow, nothing major, but
okay.
It could be just the tip of the iceberg, and there's more coming. It's very competitive out there, as I'm sure it is in your business, and we want to make sure we don't continue to lose those page visits and the magazine subscriptions and some of the additional content that we deliver for a premium. Want to stop that.
Okay. So if this trend continues, what do you expect your future to be in the next year or 5 years in terms of just total company outlook?
I probably won't be working for the company anymore, because that's what they brought me here to do.
Okay.
But certainly, based on the fact that they did hire me and Pat to come in here and do what they've asked us to do, I imagine they see it to continue to go downwards, and we'll lose advertising revenue and some of that additional money that we bring in from some of our premium subscription-based content.
Okay, so it is a very pressing issue. This is something that you're trying to fix relatively soon.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not just going to jump at the first thing that I have access to.
Of course.
But,
that actually brings me to another question. What other methods have you used to try to reverse this trend?
at this point, other than just trying to make subtle updates to the website, it seems to me that our biggest problem that we're facing is that we're losing some of our traffic to companies and websites that offer regional-based programming, something that we don't have access to. So that's been at least what we've identified. How we're fixing it, we're still working on that part.
So you have the content, it's more you're trying to personalize that almost and try to gain that audience so is it that people are going to other viewers because they're more local to that region and that's just where they're loyal to, and you feel like that's what you're losing?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're thinking. We don't have a ton of research that backs that up, but based on some recent discussions that we've had and some research we've done, that seems to be the case.
Okay, then I guess my next question is just, what do you expect to see if you were to purchase a type of software from a company like myself or a competitor? What type of future do you see happening with these trends?
Either stop the bleeding or reverse it altogether. We've put ourselves in a great position, and you know, if we can stop where we're at now, we haven't lost a ton of ground at this point, but we see it continuing. So
Okay.
we just need to reverse the trend.
I understand that completely, but how would you feel about, say, a 10% increase in time on site as well as a 10% increase in subscriptions and online purchases?
Well, that would be great, but you know, obviously that's something that, depending on how much it costs us, there have to be some significant return on investment to be able to make something like that work out for us.
Okay, so you're saying that I'm guessing that one of the main concerns of you is also the price.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I do think whether you choose us or someone else, you do have to look at this as a investment. You want to look at it as the return on the investment and your bottom line and how much that will increase. Our product actually goes through and keeps and has the numbers, and so you can see, a manager can see, what do we have, how much are we getting from each type of site, where's the biggest revenue coming from, and how is our ROI comparing with what we're spending on. So it keeps those statistics, as well as it also takes this content and it focuses it, and it actually creates a customer profile on every person. So say you're someone from Boston and you're looking up baseball. You want to make sure that the content directed at it isn't the Yankees or some other team. You want to make sure it's the Red Sox. So what happens is the next time they come in, they realize, and it sends that information to them, and it starts targeting them with the personal information. So that's what this type of program will do. But I feel like this would be beneficial in terms of targeting information, but what other concerns do you have in terms of if you were to implement a system like this?
Well, we're a small company. We've got a small staff. Between myself and a few people that work for me, we'd be the ones responsible for implementation and then also the results that follow. And you know, anything like this, depending on how much of my resources it takes away from me, could be a pretty major concern. My people having to take time out of their days to focus on implementation and then problems that exist within the software, and all that costs money. So that's a problem.
Right, I understand that there's a lot of systems that do take a lot of money to install, but actually one of the things that we try to focus our software on is that it actually just integrates with your current software. So we help you through the initial stages, and then we'll train you and be there for any questions, but for the most part, it's just a drop down, and then your marketing team currently can go through those, and everyone within your company, it's fairly easy. They work with the same system, it just builds onto that. We haven't had any issues with it currently, and we actually have guaranteed that it won't mess with any of your sustainability in terms of how the website runs, as well as training and messing with your day-to-day operations, because we haven't had any issues so far. So we're very
We guarantee it will replace all the lost income if it does take time out of my day?
time out of your day. Yeah, because we have the guarantee on that, but again, we don't know exactly how each company will respond to the content being driven, but we have had a lot of success, actually. I'm not sure if you're too familiar with Bell Magazine, but they had a 20% increase in time on site, and then Toronto Magazine, they actually had 4x increase, which we are very proud of in terms of the number of subscribers. So they had 4 times the amount of people subscribing to their website and purchasing, which is extremely exceeds the amount of money that they put into it with our software.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the best parts is that our software, it's a yearly expense. So it's not this one-time investment that you have to worry about. It's going to be this one time, and then the only time the price increases is whether there's more activity within the system. So you'll actually be seeing that ROI.
I mean, what are we talking? How much?
Well, again, we can't be completely certain on that, but you'll see the trends as they grow. We've had 20% increase with the magazine. We've worked with other companies such as NBC Sports. Well, we've seen tremendous growth within them as well. So one of the things that I would like to do is I personally feel like it seems like the needs is, do you want to direct all the great content that you have, but make sure it's going to the right person? You don't want to have too much issues in terms of your operations and implementation with this, which again, we try to make as easy as possible. So what I would like to do is just set up a time for you to see the software in a demo that we could try to show with your team and show the implementation. Would it be possible to meet next week at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I have to check with their schedule. I got Pat out there. Pat's the one I'd have to meet with, so.
Well, again, I do believe that this is, if you want to get moving on this quick, we can meet with you earlier, have a team go up to you, or again, we can also meet